Hello, brothers and sisters. Monsignor Malagreca, and this is our Christmas message, and we've decided this year that the Christmas message would be peace, because, of course, Jesus is the Prince of Peace. I have 3 favorite Bible passages about peace. The first one is, "Blessed are the peacemakers," which Jesus said in the Beatitudes in chapter 5 of St. Matthew. So one of the Beatitudes are, "Blessed are the peacemakers." So it's an interesting phrase. Peace isn't just the absence of fighting. You make peace, or even better, you build peace, or you cultivate peace, or you construct peace. People are peacemakers. There are a lot of people who are war makers. People who, as soon as they enter a room, they start people bickering with each other. Or people who love to instigate a problem. But a peacemaker looks for ways to help people love each other. Jesus blesses people who make peace. And every disciple should want to be a peacemaker. In every situation, when you bring yourself with your Christian faith and your love of Jesus to your work, your family, your neighborhood, your friends, wherever you go, you are a disciple of Jesus, and therefore you are a peacemaker. So what is involved in making peace? The first thing that's involved in making peace is that every person has dignity. When you make war on somebody, you make them an object, someone to be hurt, someone to be put down, someone who doesn't matter, someone whose life is not important. But when you recognize that everyone, children, elderly, people of a different race, people of a different language, people of a different religion, people who are handicapped, people who are not intelligent, people who are sinful, even the worst sinner, everyone is a child of God and should be recognized with dignity. You can look at them, even if there are people who outrage you and disgust you. It is always important to look at them as someone whom God loves and whom Jesus has washed with his blood. And they are worthy of it. Even if they are in sin, they are a child of God. And treating everyone with dignity is the beginning of peace. Second of all, I am so often amazed how we war over insignificant things and do not see how much connects us. You know, the Holy Father is speaking a lot about caring for the earth, and he keeps talking about caring for the earth, our common home, that even if you're not a believer, we all have one home, the earth, and we're all responsible to take care of it. There are so many things that we have in common, even before the things of our faith. We are all human. We are all born and grow and suffer and hunger. We all have a capacity to love. We all are weak and feeble. There is so much that unites us, so many reasons, and we fight over the strangest things. One of the most famous stories about this, of course, is Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. And Gulliver wakes up in a world where they're fighting. And they're fighting about which side of the egg to open, the small side or the big side of the egg. And of course, it's ridiculous. And of course, this is a satire. We are always fighting about which side of the egg to open when it doesn't really matter, and we're not together. So first, to be a peacemaker, we need to recognize the dignity of every person. And we have to focus on what's important and not what's insignificant. Number 3, Forgiveness is an essential element of peace. There is so much anger in the world. So much anger. As a human being and as a Christian, as we develop, there are certain basic spiritual lessons that we all have to learn. We have to learn how to control our bodily appetites. We have to learn how to be generous. We have to learn how to handle our anger. Sometimes young children have huge anger issues because when something comes into your life that hurts you and abuses you and makes you afraid, and makes you feel unworthy, you respond. And one of the easiest responses is anger. So it is a struggle for everyone to get over their anger. And the way to get over your anger is not to hurt someone, not to destroy someone, not to go over your anger and mull over it and get yourself depressed. The way to handle your anger is to forgive. When you forgive, you bless the person you forgive, and you bless yourself. And it is at the heart of the gospel. It is at the heart of the gospel. There is no gospel of Jesus Christ without forgiveness, or, if you wish, without mercy. Without mercy. If you want to be a peacemaker, look at people as dignified. See how many things are important and not what's unimportant. And if someone has hurt you, even if they are not yet repentant, you can still forgive people who are not yet repentant. You can distance yourself from your emotion of it all. Let your emotion drain away and make an act of forgiveness. I very often suggest to people in confession and in holy hours that they imagine such and such a person who has hurt them before Jesus, and how does Jesus look at them? What would Jesus want to say to them? How would Jesus bless them? Ask Jesus to bless them. And then you, in your imagination, go stand behind Jesus and look at them with his eyes. There's a fourth thing. There is a great happiness of living at one with people. When you have a family where everyone cares for each other, it's a joy to go home. When you have a family where everybody's fighting, you don't even want to go home. You have a parish where everybody's divided into little groups, and everybody's snipping, everybody's gossiping, and everybody's intriguing. Parish is hell. When you have a parish where people are generous and loving and caring, you feel like it's a piece of heaven. So peace is the way of the kingdom, the way of the kingdom, the way of the kingdom. And therefore we should be peacemakers to help people enjoy living in the presence of God and in each other's presence. Jesus, after the Beatitude, says, "You are the salt of the earth," meaning you make life taste good. And life tastes good when you work, care for people, love people, forgive people, live as one with people. In the Gospel of John, I believe it's 16 or 17, the night before Jesus dies, so Jesus is about to be attacked terribly, violently. And in the midst of getting ready to be attacked, at the Last Supper, he says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give with you. Not as the world gives it to you. I do not leave you orphans, I will come back." We repeat it at every Mass. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give with you. Not as the world gives to you. I do not leave you orphans, I will come back. So, let's see what we understand from this. There are two types of peace, at least. The peace the world gives and the peace that Jesus gives. gives, and they're different. The peace the world gives is when everybody stops fighting and they're living okay. Sometimes it's tense. But the peace Jesus gives is a peace that comes from within. You are at peace, and you engender peace. Jesus gives us his spirit. Another way of saying peace I leave with you is the spirit I give with you. My spirit I leave with you. There's something that can be in our soul. The spirit can be in your soul and make you peaceful, make you radiate peace, radiate joy. And in your presence, people experience peace. You ever meet people who have a beautiful spirit? They have a beautiful spirit. They smile, they're joyful, they're caring, they're loving. And you ever meet people who are constantly angry and, oh my gosh, it's just so distasteful. So Jesus wants to give us a beautiful spirit, a good spirit, a peaceful spirit. And when you have a peaceful spirit, you engender peace. If you want to find love, put love and you'll find love. If you want to find peace, put peace and you'll find peace. Let the peace in your heart change your family, your parish, the way you are. In St. Paul's letter to the Ephesians, he speaks about knowing the breadth and the width and the love of Christ. And then he says, and that peace that passes understanding will enter into your heart. So what does he mean? That it is possible to have a peace, even though people can't understand why are you so peaceful? Look what they did to you. How could you be so happy? Look what they did to you. How could you be joyful? Look what's happening in your life. And yet it's possible because of your relationship with God, and because even though health and family life and job security and economic security and getting forward is important, much more important is your relationship with God. And no matter what happens, your heart can be at peace because you're confident in Jesus. And may God give you the peace that passes understanding. You have a question?
You touched on so many good things that I don't even know where to begin. But one thing that you did say that resonates very well is that peace that surpasses all understanding. Sometimes the circumstance is so so deep, so in your face. You're trying to move past it, but you want to be at peace. So how do you get yourself back into that peace?
So you don't concentrate on the problem and the situation. You take a step back and you talk to Jesus and let him put his spirit in your heart. And you realize that all of our situations are passing. The kingdom is forever. So that in this world, there's going to be situations that are not productive and not positive, not loving. But you can be positive and productive and loving. So you can't let it get to you. There are some people that just, as soon as you're with them, you get angry because they just rub you the wrong way. What do you do with people who are
It's infection.
Yeah, it's infectious, right?
Yeah.
Infectious.
Mm-hmm.
You have to step back from it and not let them. You got to be infectious with peace and not with irritation. Right? You got to not let their spirit touch yours, but your spirit touch them. And in order to do that, you got to be in the spirit of Jesus.
Well said. I couldn't say it any better than that, and I wouldn't try either. So that's all that I have for
So this is my desire for you for Christmas, that you live in the peace of Christ. And even if it's only you and Jesus, you can live in the peace of Jesus. He can fill your heart. But of course, it is possible for his peace to fill your family and your job place and your school and your parish and your neighborhood. And you can be a peacemaker. You can be a peacemaker. Make it a goal Why don't you make it a goal in your life? I, Jesus, want to be a peacemaker. And then I'll be blessed. Have a blessed Christmas and God bless you.